Yo, we be eating a lot of things as humans that don't be looking like food.
Because a lot of them are not food. I mean, like, what is food?
Like,
when you get down to it,
how do you just peel this off of itself? Like,
food is something that has lived before, or probably that's pretty much it, right? Like, plants have been alive, animals. Everything else is just like
manufactured
or byproduct. Like, I still think it's weird that we drink milk and eat eggs that come from other animals. You know?
Do you?
To some degree, yeah. I mean, think about eggs, right?
Are you implying that we should be drinking the milk of human women?
Cambodian breast milk. No, but I'm saying, like, I mean, think about. I told you I've milked a cow. We've had this conversation before. It's kind of disgusting when you think about the fact that you drink that at some point. I mean, it's refined until by the time it gets to you a little bit, but like not very much.
Is it like just? So, what do you?
Eggs are laid. I don't know out of which hole of a fucking chicken, but then we eat them shits.
Obviously, the egg hole.
Is that what it's deemed, like scientifically in the anatomy scale? It's the egg hole. It's pretty gross. It's gross. When you really start to think about it, it's like, why do we do that? And who the fuck was the first person that was like, oh, I'm going to eat this? And did they catch it, like, while, they see where the egg came from? Or did they like, see eggs on the floor one day randomly and they're like, oh, they didn't know the origins yet and they started eating it? Just some shit that, man, when you really think about it.
You have to really give some of the people that explored initially some real credit, except Christopher Columbus.
I don't necessarily give them credit. I think that a lot of them were gross. I don't know about credit, man. To some degree, I think they're just nasty people, Like, think of the nasty things you had to go through to get to where we're at today.
Well, we weren't always a civilized society.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense... big
14 million years ago.
Kansas out the way. The earth began to cool, the arthropes began to... Yeah.
How do you remember all that?
Well, I saw it the other day. It all started with a big bang.
It's a good show.
It is. This is a good show. Welcome, everybody, to the Kasson Avenue podcast. If I'm not mistaken, this is episode number 158. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that where we're at? Let me check, because I have to fact check.
You're so disengaged.
What can I tell you, dude? I should have. Yeah, it's 158. I'm your host, Adam, here with my brother, Osama, and the dog is passed out, but he's here, though, chilling. Shout out, rest in peace, DMX, of course.
Donate to the show, I could use some pod headphones.
Yeah, man.
Somebody help!
Somebody,
because please. We are stuck at 297. Like,
it's been up and down. I don't even look. I haven't even looked at it in a couple days because I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Yo, Twizzlers are not a pod food.
They're more of a pod food than what you normally use, like chips. You've been there.
Yeah, if I'm chewing initially, I'm sorry. But
we might as well build this as an ASMR podcast and just be in here.
Think
eating.
we'll make more money?
We'll make money in general.
I'll be like, everybody, shut up. This is the sound of a Kit Kat. We're about to have a fucking 1,000 people on the podcast subscribe tomorrow.
If that happens, good enough. Let's do this shit. Yeah.
We will just sit here and eat.
Hey, I don't mind if you're like watching me eat. It's different than like being like, oh, yeah.
Money? You can watch me do a lot of shit for
money. I'm willing to do a certain level of things,
Dude, if there's a scale of what I'd be most embarrassed you watching me do, but I'll still allow you to do, eating is like the bottom of the list.
Like, it's the least thing that you're embarrassed about?
Son. As long as you got that checkbook, we can go far.
Yeah. But not checks, because that's just inconvenient.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, you're right. It's all got to be cash. I got to see the
just
cash.
Just do Zelle.
Right there.
That's all you got to do. Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, whatever the fuck you use, just send some money.
But there's got to be rules. Like, you got to be like at least 12, 15 feet away, right? What's the distance? 15 feet, right? Foul line.
What do you mean away? They don't need to be in this vicinity. Just watch us on camera.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm not inviting anybody into my...
Well, I told you.
You're just sitting here watching me eat and shit, like...
Just in the corner?
It's fucking nasty.
Like, do you want some at least? Like, there's still some more meatloaf over there.
Like, this is a terrible example, but like in the movie Semi-Pro, right? When the dude is banging hill girls, and you're just sitting there like...
just sat at the table?
So I'm just watching stuff. Like, no, I'm good. Man. You can do that at your house. Don't tell me about it.
That's got to be a crazy thing. To be like, yep, And now we don't kink shame, obviously, because all you guys like feet.
Yeah, your kink is not my kink. Or
It's funny.
whatever
I've
they
been
say.
inadvertently and not even intentionally like baiting you fuckers by like sitting like this. I've been realizing like,
I told you that. I said,
and
yo.
they still haven't even fucking took the bait. So what does it matter? Feet.
Well, what is
feet.
what is the bait? What does it look like when they take the bait? Like, what does that mean?
That means that they've subscribed.
Let's have our subscribers.
Yo, I don't care. Like at this point, even if you want to subscribe, nasty shit. Just subscribe. I mean,
You know how we like go up and
comment.
down one? I think it's like when you take your foot down, they're like, oh, unsubscribe, and you put it back, they're like, subscribe.
We are literally just bouncing back and forth between two numbers.
It's just
What were we talking
strange.
about?
Does it matter at this point?
It was something funny. Whatever.
We're talking about ASMR on the podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Anyway, what's happening with you, man?
Not much, man. Pretty much the same old shit. I've been like going back and forth between getting those visionaires and not. Like, I have a fear that I'm gonna wait too long, and it's gonna end up going up in price. All right, so this is somewhat of a sneaker podcast, right? It's actually a sneaker podcast, right? We shouldn't even degrade ourselves.
I don't know.
We are a
I don't know
sneaker
what it is
pod
anymore.
in the way that we love sneakers.
It's
Anyway,
a something.
I've been
We
going,
get on camera and talk.
There's a pair of Air Jordan 1s, the OGs that came out earlier this year. I don't know. They're like a complete volt in like black. It's almost like a, I don't know if they're like the Chicago like colorway, like that kind of blocking, but they're pretty nice. Seem to be pretty, for people who have them at least, people seem to really like them. They got like a sail.
It's a bit of a green.
sail
It's a bit of a
nylon.
bright green for me.
The Volt?
Yeah.
I mean, the Volt's kind of like what that color is right there.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know?
It's a bit of a
But,
bright green. Like,
I've been just going back and forth. I really want them. So right now on GOAT, they are 162. They were 165, and I was like, as soon as they go under 165, I'll buy them. They went to 169. I was like, ah! And then I was like,
Going the other way.
I may never get them.
so wait.
Now they're at 162. So what do I do there?
Well, you said as
Am I
soon as they go
just
under.
being petty?
Maybe. It's
All
a
right,
few
maybe.
dollars. You said as soon as they go under 165. So technically, now you have to get them or you lied to yourself. You know?
Yeah, I guess. You know, I'm trying to be a different person right now. Like I've been on that journey this year, but I'm trying to be more like. So I read this book,
Back
the
to
Four
the
Agreements.
self-help books.
The Four Agreements,
Yeah.
right? And the Four Agreements are as follows: to be impeccable with your word, right? Meaning to obviously back your word up. Whatever you say you're gonna do.
If you give your word, you're going to keep it. Pretty
To
much.
not take anything personally, right? To never assume, and to always do your best, right?
Because if you assume you make an ass out of you and me, and if you don't do your best, then what are you even doing it for? You know?
Exactly. But he does make the caveat of your best on that day. Your best isn't always the same on every day, on any given day. It could vary based on you that day. You know, your energy.
I think your best should only get better. You know what I mean?
Right, but sometimes your best you're just lacking.
Because if you gave your
energy.
best one day and then the next day your best was less than that, then it's not your best. You already did your best.
So you're
and now
just,
it's not
you're
your best
regressing?
anymore. Yeah.
No, I'm just okay. In all seriousness,
No, that is serious.
so I'm saying, like, I've been trying to remember that in like traffic, right? If somebody cuts me off, I'm like, don't take it personally that they just suck at life, right? Like,
Nah.
I guess that's the only way to.
Yo, the car is the one place I can't control my anger the most.
Dude, that's the place you gotta control your anger nowadays because you don't know what the fuck people be doing.
Yeah. I've gotten better. I used to be bad. I used to be like on my horn, fucking cursing people out.
You gotta change. You gotta get that because that shit is that's not a good thing to be doing.
Yeah,
nowadays.
motherfuckers are shooting people all over the
People
place.
are crazy. You know
But
what I'm
people
saying?
really just suck on the road. And I'm like, yo, first of all, the car is one of my most expensive investments. So, like, if you're driving like an idiot, then you're putting my car in jeopardy, which is an investment, which makes me mad, right? And then also, like, my life is in jeopardy because we're going at high rates of speed in enormous vehicles.
Yeah, I get it. But you got to, like, I think
Makes me just
catching
wanna curse people out,
yourself in these moments is like super, like, they're small victories, but they add up, right? So you're starting to get to yourself to just a point where.
Yeah, but like that.
I even try to stop myself even looking at the car. Like, I used to be like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Now I just be trying to drive past and just not even look in the car because I'm like, you know what? Control yourself, son. If you can't control your own emotions, who the fuck's going to control them for you? So,
Yeah, but maybe they don't know they're being stupid, and they need to be let it be known
but
that
what
they're
does
being
that
dumb.
matter to
You know?
them? They're stupid. They're going to go about their day. You're going to be pissed off for an hour.
Maybe they're like, oh shit, sorry, officer, I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Are you new here? Nobody's ever going to say that.
No, they're not gonna say it's you, but maybe inside they're like,
Most
I
people suck.
didn't know I couldn't do
Okay,
that.
so in that same vein, right? I was telling Adam a story. So we're detailers, but we don't really detail much this year. And I haven't done any. My pressure washer broke, so I've been unmotivated to wash my car. So I actually yesterday I made the decision. Go to one of these self-serve car washes, bring a bucket full of water, some rags, just get the shit washed because it needed to be. So I go over there, doing my thing, minding my business, right? Wiping down the car, and this is how I wipe it down. Yep, like this. Actually, like this.
It doesn't look like it's that effective when you do it that way.
No, it's not really effective.
Like you're waving.
I'm just waving at the inside the car.
Okay.
Anyway, so I hear, "Excuse me." I'm like, huh? Fuck.
You can't be talking to me.
Like, fuck. So I turn, and it's a little old lady. She's like, "You seem like a nice, strong, kind young man."
I'm just gonna make assumptions based on nothing.
Yeah. She's like, "My tire pressure's low, right? Can you, would you be okay with filling up my tire?" I was like,
Is this a setup?
"Well,
Where the boys at?
Well, for a second, I mean, it occurred to me because that's just the place we kind of live in life. But I was like, give me 5 minutes. Let me just finish up. Just stay over there. No, it was a car.
Ain't nothing, man. Stay over there.
Ain't nothing going on over here, man. Just stay over here for a second. So I finished wiping it down. And nobody was behind me at that point. So I'm like, all right, I can do this. She's a little old lady. She needs some help. So she says, I was like, well, which one's low? Because they all look kind of same. I think a lot of these tire pressure sensors don't be right a lot of the time.
Probably not.
So I was all right, cool. So I start filling them up. I was like, I'm going to get them all to at least be even with the highest one.
You know why I don't trust those things? Because even when back in the day when you're checking the air pressure with those little manual gadgets, you have to go 3 or 4 times sometimes before you get the actual right one because you have to just get it correctly on the nozzle and shit.
I don't know. I mean, listen, technology is smarter than me most days, so I don't know. But, so, I get to filling it up, and I go to the last tire, and there's this big-ass hole on the sidewall. But not fully punctured, but enough where you know.
I can't feel this tire.
I looked at it, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, look, lady. Because I was like, at some point, my good Samaritan-ness, I guess that's got to be a word. If it's not, it should be.
You need headphones, man.
It ends, right? It ends somewhere in there, right?
Yes.
Being a good Samaritan takes you only so far. I was like, listen, there's a car waiting for me now. The guy's like, what's going on? I was like, look, man, this old ass lady, I don't even know her.
Be mindful.
I don't even know her, right? I don't know anything about her, but she asked me to help her. I was like, he's all right, go take your time. So I was like, look, you got to take this shit to a tire shop. I was like, now.
I'm going to be real with you. This ain't right. You ain't going to.
I told her, I was like, look, I can't fill it up. I was like, the tires seem okay, but you got a big ass hole on the side of that tire. I was like, you got to go to the tire shop now. I was like, drive carefully, but go to the tire shop now. Was I supposed to take her to the tire shop?
No.
At what? Did I do enough?
I'm sure she has somebody she can call.
I don't know. Look,
it's not your business.
There was a bay.
I hate to be that person, but you got other shit to do.
The bay that her car was behind was with a man and his wife. And she bypassed that motherfucker, and she came to me. I was like, it always happens to me. I don't mind.
Something about you that just attracts older women.
Older women love me, man. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy, I tell you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that it was your responsibility. I mean, if you wanted to do it and be nice, awesome. But no, I don't think it's your responsibility.
Okay, but I mean, so do you all right, for instance, I don't know, I probably told you the story, right? I was driving actually on the same street, right? Because it's by the Mariano's by my house. It's Lawrence.
Which is a grocery store for those of you outside of this.
Yeah, that's whatever stupid ass grocery store you got in your area.
Replaced another. It's like the safe booth.
They bought Jewel.
So they became they put Dominic's out of business and then they bought Jewel.
It's like a fucking monster.
Yeah, man.
He's coming for us next. He's gonna try.
The guy who runs
the only thing he's gonna try to he can't beat is Amazon because Amazon is everywhere.
The guy who they named the place after, Mariano, whatever. He was an old Dominic's executive. And I guess he got tired of their shit, and he opened up his own store, and then he put everybody out of business.
Well, yeah, that store. That's an asshole thing to do. But I guess in business,
You don't hear a lot of stories like that anymore. Kudos to him, man. You know.
So I'm driving down that street, right? It's wintertime. It's probably like a half inch of snow on the ground. And I see cars.
So clearly it's not this year that this happened.
No, this was last winter. So there's like a whole bunch of in the inside lane, right, towards the curb, cars were going around something. And I get up there and there's some dude, he's trying to push his car, right? It's stalled.
That's the worst.
And I'm like, fuck! I was like,
Have to get out here and help this guy.
I was like, you know what? Let me go on ahead and put my car in this motherfucking middle lane. So I parked in the middle, right, where the turning lane would be. Like, but you know how they got the
Such
cross
a fucking good Samaritan. I'm gonna call you Mr. Deeds from now on.
Can you believe Deedsy bought all of these for us? Yo, so I get out the car. I'm like, fuck. But I liked it because at the same time I did, another dude had parked his car and we both ran over to him. And he's like, no, don't worry. I was like, don't worry. I was like, motherfucker, I ain't seen you push this shit a foot since I've been watching you try it. I was like, so the other guy got in there. So the guy that came with, not with me, but whatever. He
the
went
other guy who came to help.
Huh?
The other,
yeah. So he gets in
Batman
and
and
he gets in and starts steering, right? And then the guy with me, we're pushing the car. We push it to the gas station down the block. He had run out of gas, right? And but the problem is, like, after I got him to the gas station, I realized we pushed him like 2 blocks.
You gotta go back to your car now.
I was like, fuck.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, I should just wait to see if he needs to put gas in and tell him to drive me back to my car. Because it was still snowing out.
Man, I only got so much of that help in me. Like, back in the day, right? Like, still high school age at this point. I was working on the weekend. And I was... I always remember this because the guy was just an idiot. So I turned onto, like, the main road.
That's out here?
Yeah. It was a dry day. It was maybe, like, fall, but, like, dry, no snow on the ground or anything like that. And it's early on a Sunday, like 8 a.m. or something like that. I turn onto the road, and I'm driving, and a guy comes from the other side and turns behind me, right? And he's just, like, back and forth behind me the whole time. And I'm like, this fucking guy. So he turned around and got past me. And he's still doing that shit. And he, like, zooms all the way over across the lanes and smashes head on into the fucking other rail on the side. And I'm like, this motherfucker, I gotta, like, 2 minutes from work. I gotta get there. I'd like to get my coffee before I get started and shit. And
he was fucking with him, but you stopped?
No. I stopped for a second when I saw that happen. And I was like, because there wasn't too many people on the road, right? And then I saw somebody on the oncoming lane stop. And I was like, all right, you can deal with it, man. I'm out of here. Yo, man, first of all, listen, if you're going to be stupid, if you're going to be stupid.
So
like
I agree that maybe his actions were a little bit disruptive.
What am I going to do? Other than call 911, and that guy was getting out of the car already, so I'm like, he's good. I'm not wasting my time. Like, I got to get to work. I'm not trying to be here late.
All right, so I will say that
it's Sunday. I want to go home and sleep.
It's not your duty to do it. Remember what's the law in Seinfeld that got him in jail at the end? Spoiler alert. Where they were the Good Samaritan law, where they can't, like, laugh at people getting robbed. They have to help.
Yeah, like today where everybody would be in jail for that because they pull out their cameras first thing they do.
That is mad hilarious, that episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's funny.
I mean,
I guess, yeah, where
I offered advice where I can. Like, there's a little old lady who lives behind me, probably in her 80s or whatever, right? And she's always out there. She lives alone.
I give them advice.
She lives alone. She's always out there, like, doing gardening and shit and, like going hard, like, planting and fucking chopping shit. And she can't barely move. She walks
up to her like, look here, little bitch.
Nah.
You should not be doing this.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, yo, you're too old. I was like, hire somebody and go in the house. Like, what are you doing?
You told her these exact words?
I said, why are you out here?
I'm going to be honest with you. Your advice is fucked up. You can't be just telling people they're old to be.
That's somebody's grandmama, fool.
You can't talk to these old ass ladies like that.
Yeah, but no, for real. I'm like, yo, listen, because I think it was during summer I told her that. I'm like, it's too hot out here. You're old as shit. You need to go in the house.
Words.
Not as shit, but I said, yeah, I was like, you're old. You need to go in. Like, you can't be out here doing that anymore.
But you have to remember.
And then guess what happened? She hired a company to come and do all her
Oh,
landscaping.
so that pause. I was like, dude, don't tell me she died. Like, come on, what the hell? Like, what the fuck?
No, but she hired a landscaping company to come out and do all her shit.
That's good, but what I
was like,
think
look
you
at you.
fail to understand sometimes, the idea that when people sometimes when they retire from work at an older age, that if they don't have something to keep them.
No, I'm not telling her not to do anything.
I know, but what you
I'm
might
telling
what you
her
might
to
be
chill.
what you might fucked up is her equilibrium in her life. That was the only thing that she woke up to do.
Listen, she has a
Now
dog.
she got people
she has
out
like
there. She be looking out the window like.
she got like a little Jack Russell. She got like a little Jack Russell Terrier.
For
right?
some reason, I
and
find
she walks down the
has an
street.
English accent in my head.
No, but she definitely has some.
My garden.
Early on when we moved in
Mate.
here, she has some racist tendencies that she let me know. So anyway,
You told her that?
no, but she was like
Bitch,
talking
I
about.
know you racist.
She was talking about the landscapers and like, I'm not going to
then
repeat specifically what she said. But-
then why did you stop it? You should have let her just keep gardening.
well, because I'm talking about the homeowners association, like the ones that they hire. Anyway, but yeah, no, she walked down the street with this dog, and she's like a mile half. You know what I mean, like she's not going very fast, and she's shaking. I'm like, why are you out here gardening? You can't walk. Like it's not a smart idea for you. Is all I'm saying. So I think I did
You're
her a
not old
service.
for here. You're just old, not for the earth. But for here.
No, but she was old for this earth, is what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to convey.
I mean, listen. Yeah, it came from a good place.
Yeah, maybe the message was delivered
Not
incorrectly.
her racism. Adam's message to her.
Yeah, no. I was just trying to help her live, is all. You know?
Can
Maybe
I
the message
live?
came across wrong, but the message itself was an important one that she needed to hear.
Can I live? Too much West Coast dick licking.
It's 22 twos for y'all out there. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
don't know, man. Sometimes I just get that mental block and rap. I'll be like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, I was on a whole reasonable doubt kick the other day, so
On a whole kick of reasonable doubt?
on a whole kick of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever use Trade Block?
No, what is it?
So Trade Block, this is not an ad, but it's
Unless they wanted to be sponsors, then it could be an ad.
somebody add something to this. But it's a app that you can trade things on, and also sneakers. I
Like
think,
anything?
well, I don't know if it's
Is it like
anything,
Mercari, but like just you can trade
but
there?
I think it's like pop culturally stuff, like probably like maybe Supreme shit, that kind of stuff. But you could do sneakers. So Mike told me about it. Shout out, Mike.
What's happening, Mike?
I was with him yesterday. So it's a place that you can trade sneakers, right? You can make proposed trades to people who have sneakers that you're looking for, and they could do the same. Or you could say, "This is what I have. I'm looking to trade for this," or vice versa. So I'm like, man, I really want to do this because you know what? I looked up the Atlantic Blue.
You're gonna open. I don't know if you're gonna open up the world to these feet-loving people on the show, or what. But this sounds exactly like up their alley. You know how they asked us to like switch shoes?
Yeah, brand new shoes.
Oh, no used shoes.
Well, no, they do
lightly
use
worn.
shoes. They do use.
My foot imprint is right here on the inside. You can feel the foot groove.
Though I won't wear used shoes, I'll trade some of mine. So I got the Atlantic Blue 2016 Penny 2s, right? Brand new. They're going for like $450. I didn't know that. I've only worn them like twice. And honestly, they're just too bulky. I won't wear them. So I'm trying to see if I could trade them for something I want.
Now that makes sense. That makes sense.
I would like to get a pair of either Cool Gray 11s or possibly a pair of
So wait, cool gray.
Shadow 2.0s.
The cool grays are not valued as high as those right now.
I would assume they're probably around the same range.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I could look on GOAT right now. I don't go to StockX. You hear that StockX says that they've taken the authentication part of their, or guaranteed
Authentication.
guaranteed authentication.
Authentication.
Authentication? It's not authentication?
Not authentication.
God damn, man. As I get older, authentication, right?
Yeah.
As
See, all the things you've made fun of me for saying words that you don't like the way how I pronounced it.
words just
You added syllables.
words
and shit.
escape me nowadays. No. So they've taken that away from the page. So like used to be when you went on their page and looked up a shoe, you would see authentication process, blah blah blah, whatever. They did that.
Like when
Now
I bought the Bel Airs, they sent them to an authenticator first.
Okay, so I don't know. All I know is they've taken that off their page because I think Nike has given them grief because they've been selling fakes or whatnot. Apparently, sometimes.
So why would they want to remove that service then?
I don't know because I think they have to because Nike's making them do that.
Well, it would feel as though
Because
like
maybe because they know that they're not always selling 100% authentic
even
shoes.
when they say that they're authentic.
Possibly. It's scary. So
It's like eBay.
So they've taken that off. It's like, so you basically are telling us that we might be buying fake shoes from you?
Like, listen, I can't guarantee what you're buying, but it's for sale here though. So that's like eBay started doing that. So first of all, if you sell,
they have guaranteed authenticated.
last time I sold a card for two and some change or some shit like that, and when I shipped it out, it shipped it directly to an authenticator first, and then he shipped it to the seller or the buyer.
$372 for some cool grays.
Interesting. So it's actually valued less than them pennies.
Yeah. No, I've never bought anything from StockX or Goat. I do plan on buying.
I just want my
something
Bel Airs, man. You know, and I want to get the alternate ones.
You still want to get those, you said? Yeah, I get it. I don't blame you.
Yeah, nice. Huh? Fucks with them. They're a very seldom used, very special occasion shoe, but you know, it's one of my grails, so I gotta make sure I have it.
Speaking of grails, man, those fucking silver bullets came out, and I really wanted them. I've been wanting them for a while. I was like, fuck, I missed them last time. Now that there's this website, Goat, you can get them at like 200 right now. So it's not too much more than they came out for. They were like 180, which is a lot. I just didn't want to spend it. So knowing I can go back later is pretty good to know nowadays, because before you couldn't do that. Before you missed it, and that's it. You know, you have to find it from somebody who's willing to basically turn you around and put it in your butt to get it. Pause.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Pause. Not the shoes.
And I'm not a huge 97s fan, but there's a couple of colorways that I do like of them. You know, I just kind of really limited there. You know,
I get it.
I don't know why, man. It's just like all the lines around it. It's just something about it.
On the 97?
Yeah.
Well, you don't. To be fair, your era really wasn't that. You were you were like 8 years old at that point when they came out.
That's the same thing with many of these shoes. You know?
Yeah, but so a lot of these shoes, you got to remember that I've seen. I remember personally.
Our eras are not too far apart. Just like 4 years.
Well, they are when you think about when shoes came out, how old you were when they were. Right, like I remember people.
retros happened like in.
I vividly remember watching people rock the fucking Concord 11s, like the original joints. Like, oh my god, that's why like those shoes. I remember people rocking some of these Air Maxes from back in the day that like you would have been like 8 or 7 years old when they came out. So like you got to remember that.
Yes, but then I mean again, the whole culture of the retro, and then players who are wearing those shoes on the court.
There's a difference in having seen them real time being worn and just knowing that they existed and really thinking they're nice.
It's more than that.
Huh?
I don't know how much. I mean, again, 4 years apart. It's not that.
Yeah,
not all of them.
But if you're 9 and I'm 13, your 9 years old is different than the 13-year-olds. Like, I think there's an argument to be made that maybe at that age, right? So within that age difference, that's probably what.
Yeah, but it's not like it was like 2 or 3 year time where it was a thing. Like as I hit 13, also it was still a thing.
Well, but the shoes were different. They were different shoes that were out. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes, and then players who came afterwards.
Nostalgia is different than your nostalgia. You have to understand that, because what I'm getting at is how many grades were we apart? We didn't have 5 at least, right? Because we weren't in high school together. So I think it was. You were 8th grade and I was a senior in high school.
Something like that, I think.
And I graduated and you went to high school, right? So something like that. So think about those years. I think it's a valid argument to be made that parents don't or.
Well, that's fine, but then we went from 13 to 18 now, so of course.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, but even if you go beyond that, right? 8th grade to.
I'm just saying it doesn't apply across the board.
Let me just make this argument really quickly, and you can.
Well, it's fine.
You can debate it.
It's moot.
So was I in 8th and you were in 3rd?
Something like that, sure.
Something along those lines. Do you think it's a valid argument that, generally speaking, most parents back then, now I don't know what the fuck parents do. I don't even think they do anything really. But
you look at the kids out there now.
A parent was more likely to buy their 8th grade kid a pair of Nikes than their third grader, because the 3rd grader
maybe not.
When I was a 3rd grader, I didn't get they were Payless and they.
I'll tell you
did
this
that for a reason.
Maybe, but maybe not, because also you got to remember it's probably cheaper to buy that third grade pair of Nikes.
But
You know what I mean?
you got.
And then we're not talking about like Jordans.
When
and
you
shit.
look back, yes, it was. But when you talk about inflation,
It depends, man. It
if we're
depends
talking
who
about
you're
inflation,
talking. It depends who
you're
whose
telling me that
child
it's
you
not.
are.
Well, generally, I said generally speaking, most parents aren't going to pay for the same amount of shoes for their 8th grader as they do.
I can't say that. I can't say most.
Well,
anything.
our parents didn't.
We went school clothes shopping and got new pair of sneakers every year. But I mean, you know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
but they were different. There was differences.
Shout out mom, she made it happen.
There was differences in what you got compared to what I got. There just were.
Sure, of course.
So what I'm saying is it possible, sir?
Yeah, it's possible, but I'm telling you, it's not like it's been that way for 30 years.
You also
and every year
had an older brother. Think about people who didn't have that.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Didn't see.
My only point is, let's say that's true. There's 4 years between us, right? So let's say for 4 years it was like that. So when I got 13, all of a sudden the culture changed, and I was only 18-year-old. Like, what are you talking about?
It was a different pair of shoes.
I feel you. Fine.
See,
but
I'm
again,
just saying nostalgia is.
I mean, there are 33 pairs of Jordans. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, so if the 8,
Yes,
I wasn't of age when the 8s came out,
Jordan
then when the 12s came out,
Jordan is a different topic. Because to me, Jordan it transcends everything. Some of these kids nowadays, do you think it should be a rule if you never watch them play, you can't wear their shoes?
I think if
you can't wear these.
If you don't regard him as the GOAT, you shouldn't wear them. In my opinion.
You think so?
I mean, that's just me being an ignorant fan, but yeah.
So I guess we've been speaking a lot about sneakers recently, just because I think, I don't know, I've been really going into this world a little bit further than I used to. Not even used to, than I just have in the past few years. But regardless, so are you saying that?
Saying if you think LeBron is the GOAT, then wear LeBron's. The fuck out of here.
Nah, I don't think so. I think sneakers are for everybody.
Because no, you know why? Those same fucking LeBron fans are the same motherfuckers that are the hype beasts that are just trying to make money off the Jays. Get out of here. Get out of my shoes.
Okay, so in that same area of things, right? Without Kanye being on Adidas, we're not going to get into the political part of it, but I do want to speak about what do you think the effects of Kanye not being attached to the Yeezy or whatever they're going to call it now, because they've decided they're taking his branding and his connection with the brand, that particular line off, and they're going to still release it as an Adidas only product.
I already thought that many of the Kanye releases are pretty ugly. There's only a couple of them.
I'm going to agree with you there.
There's only a couple of them that I actually liked.
I like the Wave Runner, the first Wave Runner that came out. I really like those.
I liked his Red October release on Nike. That's pretty much the extent of it.
It's a cool looking shoe.
You know, I think that Adidas Ultra Boost is a better product, and I would go there. I wouldn't. Obviously, people bought the Yeezys because they were related to Kanye and they were called Yeezys and blah, blah, blah. There's a huge hype beast train, and that's what they're going to do.
He said, I can't believe he ran the Skechers, and then they escorted him from the building. Can you imagine if he met a Yeezy Sketcher? The fucking hilarious part is all these shit faces are going to will follow him to Skechers.
Of course.
And then they'll be wearing these big dumbass shoes that girls used to wear back in the late 90s.
He literally had a clothing brand that looked like you were outfitting, no offense, hobos. You know?
I told you, it looked like homeless clothes.
And he probably made a killing on those things.
Kanye dresses like it's paint day every day.
He said,
like, we got to wear dressy, oversized clothes with holes in them because I don't want to ruin my good clothes. But
he had the nerve to say,
he never brings out his good clothes.
He had the nerve to say, I don't see why I need a stylist when I shop so much I can speak Italian. And then decided to put out garbage bag clothing.
Do you know what Kanye's legs look like when he has those boots on there?
Dude, those are the most hilarious things. There's a picture with that girl he was with after Kim, and there's like a still frame of it, and it looks like his leg is like bent weird. Like if you put a pencil in a bottle of water or whatever, you know, like broken. I was like, yo, this shit looks so stupid.
Do you know what he looks like? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, and then we'll tell the world. But dude, his feet be hilarious. I mean, because those boots, they're massive. Do you know what they're like? Gigantic hunter boots. Those women rubber rain boots that they got.
Are they meant for just like walking in puddles?
They look like rain boots, gigantic rain boots.
That's what I would think. But so you said they're like hunter boots. So I don't know. So that like when you're like standing in the swamp, you can go and hunt deer from the swamp without having to worry about getting your socks wet.
Hold on. That's what Kanye looks like. when he wears those boots. Like his legs are gone. So I just showed Adam a picture of Mr. Potato Head, and for the most, I mean there is kind of a resemblance actually with that mustache. But Kanye, it looks like So like you ever seen a girl with a fake ass, like a really fake
Like
ass?
BBL.
No,
Yeah, that's pretty much all of them.
BBL, but like bitch, what is you doing? BBL?
That's all of them now.
No,
you know?
okay, so where it looks like it's like a lollipop. Like you ever seen like a cake pop, where it's just like the stick and then the cake pop? That's kind of what that looks like, right? So
Yeah, you gotta have thighs to match.
Kanye's legs look like they're just
Preferably.
it's like a pencil and like it's like a regular sized pair of shoes.
Just put a pencil in the shoe.
Something is wrong with dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I only like to make fun of him. I don't want to talk about any of the other shit right now.
It's true. It's
It's not happening with me.
But yeah, no, as far as the Adidas thing goes, first of all, I mean, I only have a very limited collection of Adidas.
You have what the crazy
Eights are like the
only one pair, right?
I have 2.
See, I don't even think I have one pair of Adidas. I have one pair of Adidas.
Well, one of them is the
and
Chicago edition. It has like the Benny the Bull fur on the tongue.
So I have a lot of shoes from back in the day, right? Still, like probably some of my shoes go back. But I think the oldest pair of shoes I have in my closet are from probably year 2000.
Oh, I also have the D-Rose.
Okay. Oh, actually, I do have a pair of Derrick Rose shoes, the 2.5s. But the oldest pair of shoes in my closet, I think, are those T-Max that I have. Those gray and with like they're white.
I always see them on Foot Locker's website and I always consider grabbing them.
Dude, and those are from back then. I hooped in them. Like I think Adam might have used them a little while after. Like they're so hooped in. Actually, I don't know if you did because these I hooped unless you were desperate to have some hoop shoes because I think I hooped so hard in them that the ball of my foot fucking rubbed like through the sole, like not through the rubber sole, but like through the padding and everything. Yo, I played in them. Those are still in my closet. Like, at what point do you stop like holding on to a shoe? Like, is there any other reason other than it's become like you've beat it so point where it
depends.
A daily
like
usage shoe?
They're like old hooping shoes that I've gotten rid of. But like if it's like
I've gotten rid of some.
If it's like a retro and I'm like. I wore these till the brakes fell off. I'm just gonna retire them. You know, I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I usually just retire. I have right now.
But I don't have many like that.
There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 or 5 pairs of like shoes I have just retired, put away, like, and that won't be worn again. But like, I won't get rid of them. Actually,
Hit them with some Rejuvenator and give them a little bit of extra life just to make them look as pretty as they can be while they're sitting in their in the little retirement box. You know.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Stop landscaping. You know. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's nice to have that brand power of Kanye where you can kind of just go anywhere you want and not anywhere you want at this point. Clearly,
he can't go anywhere he wants.
Now, that's a new thing though. Like he was able to go to any company.
Can't go, so
like,
I saw,
Gap,
I saw a clip yesterday. I'm not going into it, but it just said because it's funny. He can't go anywhere he wants anymore. But he says that I can go anywhere I want and say anything I want to anybody I want.
Oh, he was talking about like you can control
like,
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Like
you can control.
You are a conundrum.
Whatever that means. I use it inappropriately all the time. Like, I'm not sure what it means specifically. I have to always look it up. Like, what is a conundrum again?
How do you spell that?
But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else important to that story. But
no, not at all. I mean, I just brought it up because of Adidas.
Yeah,
Adidas.
I haven't really been following much of like the Kyrie saga.
No, and
either.
I don't even want to get into that because honestly, I've gotten to the point where you know what. It's just too much. It's just too much shit, man. There's always something to like block our attention from just like my normal life. Like I got so much shit that I got to regular like deal with on my own.
Well, that's why I don't watch the news most of the time.
No, man. It's getting to the. It's
although I gotta say, sometimes I'm like, man, I should watch the news because I didn't know that it was gonna like have small little snow flurries yesterday. And
dude, you can look at the weather app on your phone. For me, there's so many things I have to deal with personally. Right, as do you, as the Sarah, as our parents, our friends, everybody in their own individual world.
Shout out all of those people
who
has
so much to deal with, right, within their own space, right. I think they do such a good job of like with social media and all these outlets to get you to pay attention to some fucking public fucking spectacle that's been created by somebody who, you know, whether or not they're wrong or right, I won't get into any of that. All I will say is that they're good at fucking providing you another story, another fucking what do they wave at the bowl? The red.
Well, we talked about it.
Like,
I mean, you can put out as many things as you want, and
we're basically
people are gonna
bulls.
pay attention if they choose.
We're
you know what I mean?
basically bulls.
You don't have to watch everything.
That's what they do. We're basically bulls, and they just get that red little and just fucking Toro, motherfucker. And
He's similar to that. You know?
that's what they try
Sometimes
to
the
do.
bulldog, like the bull part of the bulldog, comes out, and he'll just like
He's a big bowling
he'll
ball.
just like charge at things.
But you get what
It's
I'm
kind of
saying.
scary
right?
when he's running at you full force, man. I ain't gonna lie.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, but I mean, again, like it's the nature of things. It's how it's always been.
yeah,
It's
but
just-
if you
there's
gotta
a
do
lot
good
more
job-
outlets
you gotta do
now.
a better job of saying, "Fuck that! I'm just gonna
I'm telling
listen.
you,
I'm gonna do what I have to do."
You know what's usually on my TV? FXX. Watching either King of the Hill, The Simpsons, Family Guy. Those are the type of shits that's on my TV. I don't really have the news on. I don't have many that bullshit. I'm barely on social media these days. Like, you know, it's I kind of block a lot
It's
of that
hilarious
out.
that he's off social media like that because that's why I took over the fucking Keona Kasson podcast Instagram because he runs a podcast, but the motherfucker don't want to be on on any of the socials.
Well, that's all right. You can take a job.
Yeah, I get it, but you have to you gotta be on social media.
Let's be fair. Since you took it over 2 weeks ago, you put 2 posts.
Well, I've been
So,
doing more.
I mean,
I've been doing a lot of stories
I
and
mean,
things
relax.
like that.
Let's not pretend like we're doing.
I've been doing
10
stories.
times more now. You know
I've been
what I mean?
doing stories. You can't
Hey
just
man, listen.
downplay.
I have been a one-man show.
No, actually, it's been a 2 and then sometimes a 3, but back then I to a 2 and then sometimes a 3.
Nah, I don't mean like in front of the camera on the show.
2-man band man.
I mean, we do the recording on put the posting and then
But
put,
to be
there's a
fair,
lot of-
also that's based on the fact that we just don't really live in close proximity, and we haven't found a
Fair.
good way to get.
I'm not saying
the
anything about
file.
it. I'm just saying don't sit
We
here
have to
pretend
find.
like you're doing that
You
much
would
more.
think that with all the technology out there right now, they would have found a way to get fucking these files uploaded where me and you can deal with them as quickly and expedited.
We
as
could,
possible.
but man, you just refuse to like step into this century and
Fuck
get an iPhone.
Apple.
Get an
Not
iPhone,
doing
man.
it. Hell no.
It makes things
Fuck
so
you.
much easier.
Fuck you, man. You
Dealing
get
with
a
this
fucking Apple.
freaking Samsung shit.
number one.
And not even having the most challenging time upgrading your phone.
It's the craziest. Sarah too. It doesn't matter what phone.
Yeah, but it's only because of you.
You notice
like,
we just stopped talking about it. We're just
like-
like fuck it.
like in our family group chat, okay? There's 6 of us. 5 of us have iPhones, and Sam's the only one with the Samsung.
It ain't like we're on a family plan, motherfucker. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
I know
No,
we're not a family plan.
I ain't going.
I'm just telling you,
'cause
it makes file sharing a lot easier. You know, like back when we were doing detailing shit,
I
and I'm
had-
taking
let me ask
videos
you-
to send them to you.
Let me ask
It
you.
would
this.
come back HD, not like whatever fuzzy.
If well,
You know?
that's why WhatsApp works. If I were to have a iPad, for instance, would that help?
I mean, I can airdrop you things. You know,
What if I brought my computer? Well, the thing is,
it'd
you
have to
have
be
to
done
get
here.
it. You
Like,
have to get it.
I don't think I can airdrop you from my computer to your computer.
Really?
I don't know. I've never tried
What kind
it.
of stupid Apple bullshit is
I've never
that?
tried it. I've never had another
Fuck.
Mac that I had to try to send
That's
things to.
fucking stupid.
I'm just telling you, man. Apple products are made to work in sync. And when I'm going from Apple to Samsung, they're competitors, so nothing is in sync.
They're Backstreet.
Yeah, exactly.
Backstreet,
They're
the other's
98 fucking
NSYNC.
degrees is what Samsung
What
is.
was 98 Degrees song?
You
You for sure know.
If I thought about it long enough, I could figure it out. I don't remember. But speaking of which, old boy's brother from Backstreet Boys just passed.
Oh yeah, rest in peace to what was it, Aaron Carter?
yeah.
Yo, I had seen some things of him recently.
Listen, man, there's some things like again, like Joe Budden talks about being desensitized to it and shit, but like there's just certain people you're not surprised, unfortunately, when they pass,
Yeah,
man. And it's
and
like
I mean,
he had a lot of like shit, and nobody was taking care of him. Nobody was paying attention to him. And
It
making
looked
sure.
like that. It looked like that.
Like you got a famous brother who was part of one of the biggest, arguably one of the biggest boy bands of all time. Like
He's got to have money, right?
I would expect, you know, I don't know, because if you go back into those stories, they say like whoever the manager was, like did a good job of screwing every one of them over pretty well.
Really? Even JT?
Yeah,
Justin Timberlake?
like, well, I mean, he has a solo.
He was the
career,
manager?
so you know, no.
I am the manager. Can I talk to the manager? I am the manager, B.
Nah, but like I think like Britney Spears, I think also had issues with the guy. Like,
Yo, speaking of issues of Britney Spears, right? Have you seen this bitch dancing on Instagram? Yo, she is dancing like she is in, firstly, slow motion, right?
I feel like maybe she's one of those like she's like a doppelganger, like they replaced her, you know.
So there's this page. I
Because
can't,
she is not like like, oops, I did it again.
There's a page, I can't remember the name on Instagram, right? But basically what he does on some of these like videos is he'll put sound effects, right? So she was like dancing, he was like like, you know, like doing stupid ass, but like perfect sound effects for like, and I'm just sitting there watching her, like, even with the sound off, I'm like, there was a reason she was in a conservatorship.
I don't know, like, I thought there was a point where she was a normal person to some degree, like as normal as you can be as a
definitely done this to her.
idol.
She's definitely crazy.
Somebody did this.
Somebody did this.
It's just weird, man. Like,
Yo, I'm sick of Fabulous. He matches way too well. If he was my friend, he could no longer be my friend. Like, dude, you be just matching outlandishly shit, right? This motherfucker
when you got the money to have things
motherfucker got a
custom
Cuban
made.
link fucking bracelet on his fucking ankle. I'm like, who would even do that?
like, why do you even have an anklet?
Who does that but Fabulous?
Who can get away
F-A-B-O.
with doing it other than Fabulous? Honestly,
I don't think so. I don't think anybody.
which,
But I will say,
I mean, look,
like,
gotta give Ghetto Fabulous is one of my favorite albums from back.
do you
in the
remember
day,
we
so-
used to go to? I used to take you to like those disc replays, and we'd be sitting in there looking for CDs.
musical cyclery and whatnot?
Music was, dude, those were come ups.
Yeah.
And also,
That's where I bought Gangster and a Gentleman.
I bought so many. I think I got my Blueprint copy from there. I got Ghetto Fabulous from there. I got fucking a whole bunch of shit. And if you had a burnt CD, but you didn't have a case, you just go in that motherfucker, look for the case, just take the case.
Yeah.
Now you got a case for your burnt CD, and now it looks like you got the real CD. And that,
Yeah, it was a great place, man.
I bought so many CDs.
kind of sad when they closed all them places down.
Yeah,
You can get video games and movies and shit.
they had a lot of things.
Although most of my DVD.
What happened to all of those CDs? Somewhere in a storage space. Can you imagine that?
Hey man, we better start getting on our storage wars. Shit.
I was thinking about the idea. I'm honestly, you're probably right. I was, Rolling Stone by the Hip over in the city. So they're still open.
Yeah.
But I think their hours are highly condensed compared to what they usually. We used to be bored at the crib and shit, like be like, chilling. And be
They
like,
used to be where people
let's
famous
run.
acts would come there
Where
so
I
you
got
can
it's the guy
do
where I
autographs.
bought my
and shit.
first porn DVD. What the hell? Come on, man.
Had fucking vinyls hanging from the ceiling and whatnot.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, they had a little porn section and shit. But like that plays CDs. It's
like the original FYE,
You
that
can go
place.
in there and listen to the new music on like just the same shit that I know that seems like a crazy thing to you youngsters now. But like there was a time where you would go to a spot and be able to listen to the new music that came out before you
The
decided to
equivalent
buy
that
it.
you might be up on is like when you can go to a store that had video games about to release and you just hit the little button, you can play the game at the store.
Downtown Chicago had a big ass Virgin Records on Michigan Avenue, yo. A big ass fucking Virgin Records. And you would go in there and they had like multiple floors. I remember days where mom used to let me not go to school, so she had something to do downtown. She'll go do a little survey. I'll run up in that bitch and like I'll be playing video games.
Funny
and
enough,
shit.
she's like afraid to go into the city.
Yeah, she don't do it. You act like mom didn't live in the city if you ask her. Crazy.
Yeah, it used to be different. Have Sam Goody, whatnot.
Yeah.
There used to be all types
But-
of shit back in the day.
But I say that to say, me and Vivi were talking about it, and I said if they can just survive a little bit longer, I think they're gonna get to the point where just like everything else comes back full circle. Print, DVDs, records, all of these things are gonna come back. If they can just survive just a little longer, they'll probably be on the forefront of a lot of stores that are to follow that. Right? You know how like card shops, the ones who survived, they reaped the benefits as soon as the boom came.
Yeah.
They like really reaped.
There's
the
a few
benefits.
comic book places I've seen out here that I want to go and just check out and see what else they're working with.
They
for those comics.
the ones who lived through the depression of cards
The lulls of,
like you think about them, they reaped benefits crazy.
most of them, as long as they were able to get Panini licenses.
You have to be good to schmooze and whatnot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's what happened. So I told Vivi, I was like, if they could just survive just a little longer, because I'd hate to see that store leave, because it will take. I know a few years from now something's gonna pop up, the same idea, because that's gonna be another craze. Everybody's gonna be like, "Yo, do you got the CD for this?" Yeah, motherfucker, but I've had it since
Kind of in a similar vein, and they will go on a break. They're gonna reopen. I don't know if they're like pop-ups that are going to be a very limited time, but Blockbusters,
That's dope.
and they're doing like an adult
there's
spin
so
on it.
much money in nostalgia.
Like-
so
like
much fucking money in
liquor
nostalgia.
or shit like that. They're gonna sell them, So I don't know how exactly it's gonna work.
This is
I don't
now
know all
the
specifics.
Kasson Avenue Nostalgia Podcast.
Yeah, we just talk about shit we used to love back in the
Yeah,
day.
you know what we should do is we won't tell y'all. We'll tell you.
But we'll be back though.
later. All right. Oh, look at it. I went to grab my headphones again. I went to go see Wakanda Forever on Friday night.
Oh, so we're just jumping balls deep into it right now, huh?
Balls deep.
Ain't
All the
even-
way in. My balls are all the way in.
And even slowly work our way in there.
I
Just
slid them in.
it's gonna
They
tear
went
right through.
like balls deep.
Oh, so like including balls.
Yeah, I threw them all in there. I was like, all at once. Just wakata.
It's a hell of a feat. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yeah. You know, that doesn't even appeal to me. It doesn't look like it would feel good. Well, your balls are sensitive, man. Like you just squeeze them into
I don't
this
think
tight
that's a thing.
space. You gotta be.
Has anybody tried to do such a thing?
You gotta be delicate with the balls. You got to. I think that's a common misconception.
We're just around there smacking around and
Smacking
shit.
balls and shit. Like, what are you doing, bitch? These balls are sensitive.
I was listening to, I think, like Whitney Cummings' podcast. She was like, "Wait, you're bigger and stronger than me?" She's like, "I can flick you and take you down in a second."
And it's probably true.
Yeah, don't smack
You
around.
know, like, listen, I think it's a misconception that our balls just,
I don't think it's a misconception. I don't know who's conceptualizing this, but
I
they're
don't
wrong.
know. I just feel like people should know balls are sensitive,
Yeah.
you know?
So Wakanda forever.
And dicks need adjusting. I keep going on and on about that in my life, but dicks need adjusting. And what are you gonna get mad? Okay, stop switching your tits around in your bra. Shit just offends me. How about that? I'm offended by your offended tone.
Listen, man. Again, like
Victim shaming right
They
there.
just wanted to see them and
So-
like watch it happen. You know, like the way we care for their tits.
So
Make all
Wakanda
the
Forever. The thing is, it took forever. It was like 2 hours and 50 minutes of just.
difference. Marvel movie.
It was a long movie.
That's what they do.
You haven't watched, and I just learned this, the first one either.
No,
When did the first one come out? Like 2018?
probably before pre
2017? You've just been sitting here not watching. I'm surprised you didn't watch it after he died, just out of sheer curiosity.
Well, I mean, it's not like I don't want to watch it. I've watched a ton of Marvel movies.
How
I
many
just-
movies? You have?
I haven't watched
You have
the-
access to it right now, right? If you went downstairs, you could get it.
Probably, but to be fair, I also haven't watched Infinity War.
You haven't watched Infinity War yet? You don't know what happens?
I know to some degree what
you're
happens.
The fucking worst.
I know to some degree what happens.
Are you
because
not?
how can you not?
So do you not want to just complete the story in your head so you can just stop thinking about it? I mean, I'm not thinking about it either. I just mean like
I'm gonna go back and watch. I'm gonna have like a Marvel day or 3 days or a week because it's a million movies. And
they're
all
like 4 hours
long.
long. I don't know how you're gonna fit all that in one day.
Yeah, you gotta go back to. There's like a guide online that tells you like where the sequence where
Just
to
to
start.
watch it how you should
Yeah,
watch
so
it.
like start from like Iron Man somewhere and then boom, 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 boom. You know?
Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Yeah. So I watched it. It was a good movie. Obviously, you know the idea that because of the fact that Chadwick Boseman passed away, rest in peace. It's hard to fill shoes of somebody that like.
That's the part that was really confusing to me. Like, how you gonna have a sequel?
How do you make it become? How do you make it a movie that people enjoy, with the idea that he's not there because of the fact that he passed away? It's already a somber thing to watch. It is. I'd agree. When you started, they started with essentially a tribute to Chadwick, and it's weird, but I guess they did as good a job as they possibly could. Vivi brought up another way that they could have taken it. I don't remember what she said, but she did bring up another, and I was like, I guess that makes sense. There's ways you could have gone about it. You've not heard anything about it, I'm assuming. You haven't even watched the first
I mean, I've
one.
heard a little bit about it.
I guess talking
I've watched
to Adam
no,
about
no,
this
like
movie is essentially
I've watched
just
because you know
moot or moo.
I've watched
It's moo.
It's like a cow's opinion.
It's moo.
No, I watched like clips where like you know a lot of the stars are on like the late night shows and they go on and talk about it and show little clips. I know a little bit about it, but you know, go ahead, talk. Let the people know. I mean, don't give
Well,
away
I
too
will
many
just
spoilers
recommend.
anyway.
I just
Still in
look,
theaters
all
now
I'm going to
anyway,
say is
so.
just go ahead and check it out. It's worth the watch. It's a little bit longer of a movie. The movie theater, I'll say
We've
this.
learned zero
movie
things.
theater. Well, I
your
can't
synopsis
because
so far.
I don't know
Well,
what
it's
people
still-
know.
I mean-
you don't even know anything. So how the fuck?
Yeah,
am I
but your
talking to
review
you?
is just like
At the
it's a good
very-
movie. It's just long.
At the very
which is
least,
all of the Marvel movies.
you'll
that have come
enjoy
out.
it. But I don't know what. I didn't watch I didn't watch the trailer before I went to watch it, so I don't know what's in the trailer and what's not. I'm not trying to spoil it. I can't talk to you.
Well, just don't like.
I can't even talk to you candidly about it and just say spoiler alert to these fucks.
Okay, well, listen. Give us some version of what the plot line is. Like, what you know, make me want to go and see it. If I didn't know that this movie was a thing, What is going to make me want to go and watch it? You give me the trailer.
Wakanda encounters a new power in the world, and they don't know how to deal with it. Boom!
What kind of power is that?
God damn it, Adam. So I will recommend that you check it out. They dealt with the idea that there isn't a Black Panther for all intents and purposes.
It's like if Iron Man was killed off and then they made an Iron Man sequel.
Well, the suit is Iron Man, not necessarily. I mean, I guess he is, but because
Thing is in his chest.
well, you could just put that in my chest and make me Iron Man. But
No,
hey,
that's not true. That's how he stayed alive. Was the thing in his chest.
let's figure it out.
Hey, heart transplant.
Hey,
take that out and put this thing
Put
in
that
here.
light in my chest. You know.
Nobody's gonna go and do that on purpose.
Well, I guess you're right there. But so they dealt with the idea that he isn't around anymore, and the fact that now he is dead, and the void that figure in Wakanda left.
Right.
They dealt with that decent. I guess there's only so many ways you could have done it without it becoming way too cheesy, way too just far-fetched. Not that it's not far-fetched already. It's about a fucking superhero who has crazy powers.
We're in a time in life where superhero movies are a dime a dozen, so like it's
Okay,
not
so
far-fetched.
I've brought it up before.
that
You would have
degree.
thought that by this point there'd be a superhero around. They would have come. If art imitates life and all that,
Well,
like, where the fuck is he at?
That's why everybody gets one. Tell them, Peter.
So they dealt with that well. It will bring you in. It doesn't feel as long as the running time would have you think. So I guess they did a good job in keeping the movie going well, keeping you engaged. I'd say watch it. I don't want to say too much because I think that they're saying even a little bit could give away a lot. And I'd rather let people go ahead and watch it and enjoy it the way they like to.
Like it's a 2-hour movie. How much can you say that's
almost 3 hour movie.
Well, God damn.
I said 2 hours and 50 minutes. What'd you hear?
I'm gonna.
Is that an orange?
I'm gonna put that. No, it's basketball. Stress ball. I'm gonna put the clips goddamn on here so I can be like goddamn whatever something.
It's
like,
a new day.
Whenever you say something that's like, oh, it's a 3-hour movie, I'm like goddamn. Instead of having to verbalize it myself.
Yeah, this guy is just tired of us.
He hates us potting.
So I'd say check it out. The movie theater. What I was gonna say is it's definitely become because if you've been watching, this is now the third movie I've watched in about a month or maybe a month and a half in the theaters. Generally, don't like it. Don't want to go to the show. And actually, a reason why popped up on Friday. My thought is that I can watch it on a fairly large television in my own home, right?
Home theater system.
Right. You sit there, you got the bathroom, you got your kitchen.
You don't have a bunch of those stupid ass kids in the seat next to you or whatever. All I got to get is some movie theater butter popcorn.
That's the difference now in the theater. And that's what I found. You're not really ever going to sit next to people anymore. Like you're at least decently divided by a little bit because you've got now these big reclining seats.
Well, it's not every theater that has those.
Every theater I've gone to recently, I've been to the one in Schaumburg, the AMC in Schaumburg, Movie Co. And I've been to, where's the other?
I mean, if you're going to like top-notch movie theaters, sure. Otherwise, all the seats are next to each other.
I forgot what other theater I went to, but I've been to
share armrests with
I've
the people
seen
next
3.
to you and shit, you know?
I think that's the movie theaters specifically, like the actual places have learned that the reason people don't care for the theater anymore, and it's probably a little bit of a byproduct of COVID, is that people don't want to be in such close proximity.
It's not that
to
don't
folks
care
they
for the
know.
theater, though. I think a large part of that is not everything needs to be seen in theaters, but certain things you
That's
want to
true-
see in a
that's true,
theater.
but-
You know, like
but
a lot of those
people
Marvel
forego
movies.
it.
A lot of the Marvel movies are dope to see in a theater.
But people forego them because they don't want to be in a theater sitting right next
Well,
to
and they
somebody
also because
they
of-
don't know.
it's
If I
also
don't
because
know
of
you
COVID.
and you're sitting right here. Dude, the worst part of the theater would be when you sat there and you'd be sitting there like this and your significant other could be right here. Literally, you got your arm around them like this. But you could do this and have your arm around another stranger. You know, that was my least favorite part about the movies.
Before COVID, it was never really a thought to me that like, oh, I don't like the theater, like da. I'll go for certain things. I think what happened is because of like the streaming services getting movie deals, people are like, well, I can watch it right when it comes out from my house. I don't have to like, because generally speaking, before that, if you wanted to catch a movie, if you didn't want to catch it in a theater, you'd have to wait like a couple months for it to come out, you know, on whatever other platform that it was on or DVD or whatever. Now, like, not all the movies are doing that anymore.
Not everything is exclusive to theaters. Like, you can get it both theater and streaming platforms that you paid for.
So now you can watch it right when it comes out.
All right, and I agree with that. But having gone recently, right, I'll say this. There is a certain movie magic at the theater. And I for a long time, I would have disagreed with my own self. I promise I would have been like...
I have to make myself a movie theater snob, though, now. Like, there's one right here, the Arboretum or whatever this fucking shit is. And it's like a Gold Coast Theater, whatever it is. So, like I said, big recliners. There's actually, like, you know, a seat worth of space in between each pairing of chairs. They have a server come and like bring you food.
That's most of the theaters I've been to recently. But the one I go to usually is the Rosemont one.
Those shits are expensive as hell.
Which might be similar in what they do. But that's what I'm getting at. Theaters are now being created in a way where they realize, okay, people only want to come if they feel like they're having an at-home experience with this large screen. So we're going to provide them the ability to drink. So you can go get drinks now. We're going to bring a server around, right? They'll bring your food.
See, the ones having a server is smart because when you have to go and get a refill in the middle of the movie and you know he's going to pause it. Like, I paid to watch the movie and now I can't even watch the whole thing.
That reminds me. But the seats now are even heated. Did you know that?
The fuck?
They're heated fucking reclining seats. So
it's a little extra. I don't really need my
but
ass to be warm, or somebody else's ass was warm prior.
But
unless somebody coming over here with some antibacterial wipes and shit.
You'll be sitting there like, oh damn, that. I'm telling you. The part of the reason what you just stated, we had gotten a drink and we ran in there late. So here's actually another part of the theater that I hated. I've only been in recent years of my life, probably my adulthood. I don't know when I was younger, probably not so much. Yeah. But I've only been to a movie once and had to sit in the front row. Okay, it was at the Live Free or Die Hard movie.
It's about the worst thing of all time.
Dude, you literally feel like the thing is sitting over you. You're just like watching the movie, just dizzy as hell. So
and you can't do that as an older man now. Yeah, then you got just a stiff neck next day.
We went to go get food first, and she was like, "All right, we're gonna watch it at 5:00." Cool. What we didn't realize, or what we weren't thinking about, is we were going to watch a new movie, Wakanda Forever, something everybody wants. So we get to the theater. It's just, you know, you can walk there. It's like
it doesn't help if you adjust your mic and then you move away from the mic.
It takes 3 minutes, right? I can't hear, so it takes 3 minutes to walk there from where we're at. Like just a quick walk in the same entertainment park, right? Just a few minutes away. So we walk over there. We get in and now it's funny how nothing is like. Remember ticket booths where you used to charge people used to be there and take it. Now you just at the computer.
So they don't have people who like rip your ticket anymore.
They have one person, just the what do they call it?
The usher,
or whatever. But yeah, there's nobody at a ticket booth like you go on a computer. Right. They've streamlined it well. Only if you're not stupid and know how to operate these things, the touchscreens. But anyway, we go first row. I'm like, fuck. I was like, all right, you know what? Let's go. We'll go see if it sucks. I know we can come out. They'll give us a credit. We can go to another showing. So we go in there, sit down. I'm like, fuck, it's not great. It's not terrible.
Do these fancy chairs recline at all to help ease the stress on your neck?
They do. But for some reason, so there's like the front row and then the main aisle, which is a pretty large aisle, and then handicap seats, but not every seat is handicapped. So Vivi looks back, I look back. She's like, you think we can sit over there? I was like, all right, you go. I'll be right behind you. So she went. I walked. We sat down, and it ended up being okay. But we got there so late that we didn't really have enough time to like. I probably wanted some popcorn. I was like, fuck it, just get whatever you want. We'll just go. So she got like a pop and
some snow caps.
No, she got fucking Reese's.
Junior Mints.
She always gets Reese's Pieces. I don't know why.
I mean, I like Reese's Pieces, but not more than like favorite. Regular Reese's. No. You know?
So at some point in the movie, she taps me. She's like, she shakes her cup. I'm like, fuck. I was like,
hey, refill. Let's go.
I was like, so full disclosure.
That's pretty hilarious.
So full disclosure, in the movie, I pinched her. Right? I pinched her. I said, get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. Okay? Like, I'm watching the same movie you're watching. I don't want to miss anything. I was going to do it, but I had to let her know that I wasn't happy about it.
That's pretty funny.
So then I tried that's the thing about going to get a refill.
She was like, yo, I'm watching this movie. Can you go and refill my cup, please?
You have to pick. That's exactly what it is. But you have to pick fucking, like, your time. Like, oh, shit. Like, all right.
Like, oh, they're just talking about God knows what.
Okay. It seems like right now a pretty low-key conversation. I got to go now. fuck, did I just miss my window?
Like something is
Should I have
definitely
left
gonna
already?
happen.
Should I have left? Damn it, just go. So then
Well, you're gonna be gone for at least like 7 minutes, right? So something is gonna happen.
As soon as you hear the door close, you hear boom, 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 and you're like, fuck.
Where you do like double back for a second, you're looking at the screen.
And then
I think that's all right.
Standing there for 25 minutes, like.
By the time the credits roll, you're like, oh, here, I brought your drink.
Like, I bring it back, she's out gone. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Did they do your typical thing where like after the credits rolled and there's like a?
They did a little bit, but like they didn't wait till the end of like the official credits.
Oh yeah, that's how
they rolled credits, let it roll for a couple minutes,
yeah.
and then they gave it.
That's what they do. That's the typical thing.
So yeah, I would watch. I'd still stay and watch. But yeah, honestly, it was a good movie. I'd check it out. I'm not gonna rate it on 1 to 10 or anything like that. But
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Did you get exclusive access?
I did not. I have no exclusive asses.
Did I say asses? Exclusive access.
It came out more that way. Yeah, no, I didn't.
Exclusive access through the Sneakers app. If you don't know, Jordan 1 OG Lost and Found coming out the 19th. But they were giving out exclusive access on.
I haven't checked the Nike app just to make sure, like the
Thursday,
inbox.
wasn't it? I think it was Thursday they did it. And I didn't get it. I don't understand how, because, hey, Sneakers, fuck off, fuck face fuckers. I swear to God.
Shut your fucking face.
Uncle fucker. I don't understand how I didn't fall within their criteria. Is it because I've won 2 Jordan 1s in the last 2?
Yeah, they're like, you're fine. You got some things.
In my opinion, they've sabotaged me.
You know what? I usually get the
Saboteur.
They usually give me like the shit that I don't want. I have no interest in at all. And I'm like, you should know, because I go to scroll the app like a regular social media site, and I'll click the ones that I like. And you should know what general
What was
things.
the last Sneakers win you got?
The last win?
Yeah, the last time you actually got something.
Probably the Dunks.
When was that?
Last year sometime? No.
2021.
Pretty positive, yeah.
When was the last time you tried?
I don't know, a couple times earlier this year. Yeah, man, give me.
So you don't really try that much?
Well, I mean, I'm only gonna try for the things that I want. I got a collection brewing here. So.
Well, I mean, at some point, I was just trying to see if I would just be able to win in general.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got them, then it automatically charges you. So
I know, but I was able to.
Usually, when I try to get my reservations is finish line.
You can cancel within an hour.
Finish line is where I usually go for my reservations, because you don't have to pay until you go and pick them up, and you can choose where to get them from. And that's usually where I get most of my wins.
I don't know if that's even a thing anymore.
It is. Those the alternate grapes were probably the last one that I got, and I actually went and purchased. I got one more since that. Like this year, I got a couple of them. I just didn't go and get the shoes.
What the hell have you bought? Really?
There's some 13s. What was Obsidian Blue or whatever it was.
Those are still available on the Sneakers app. Those and there's a pair of 6s that came out. They're doing actually, you know what's funny? The 6s, the low top 6s you have. Remember we were talking about them like 2-3 weeks ago. They're releasing the high top version of those in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it just looks better as a high top, but. Whatever.
I almost wore the 6s because we were talking about them as well, but I forgot. I was like, fuck it.
I don't have too many low top shoes, and the high tops just always look a little bit better to me. But
whatever. I got a question, right?
All right.
It may seem a little insensitive.
Yeah, I mean,
but I was thinking
it's
about
you, so
because I was like, well, I want to say the reason I've thought about this, right, is because for full disclosure, there was on the exit I get off from work, there was usually the same homeless guy there for a long time, right? And this year, before summer, he wasn't.
It's a different homeless guy now.
Yeah, he wasn't there the rest of the summer. And for the most of the summer, there wasn't anybody sitting there. Now, that could be multiple reasons. The cops could decide they don't want anybody there.
They could have been like, I'm not making a whole lot of money on this corner. We go somewhere else.
I mean, I don't know. They moved on. I don't know exactly. But what
he's no longer homeless, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I would, I'd hope. But the other day, I was driving down that little off ramp or whatever, and I saw somebody standing there. I was like, oh shit, is my guy there? It wasn't. So I got to thinking, okay, how do I say this? Do you think if you were a bum,
okay, putting myself there,
a homeless man, a hobo, if you will, right? Are they all different?
I don't know.
Is a hobo just a guy that's on trains? It's like strictly trained homeless person.
I don't know.
Look that up really quickly. Hobo.
What do they call those guys? There's a different word for those guys, I think.
Train jumpers?
No. That's like, I mean, if you want to just go and attack it like an animal.
Hobo definition. Okay. A hobo. A hobo. A noun. A homeless person.
A noun.
A homeless person. A tramp. Or a vagrant. A vagrant. Vagrant?
Vagrant.
A migrant worker.
What?
That's fucked up.
So are those like, definition A, definition B?
Hobo is slang for a homeless and usually penniless vagabond. So I don't believe that. I think hobo is just interchangeable with homeless person and bum. Anyway, what I'm getting to is if you were one
They
of
don't have established residence.
if you were one of the aforementioned
Right. I have no house or apartment or any other living situation.
Would you? And I don't know if it's called vacation is the right word, but during the
During the off season.
during during the cold season of your, which I guess would be the off season of your chosen place on the map.
Can't panhandle comfortably.
Would you winter in other places?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, would you have homes?
If I had no home in a particular city, first of all, there's not going to be an off season because I would never be homeless in Chicago. If I was homeless here, I would panhandle for a day, buy a train ticket, and get straight to fuck West Coast. I'm not staying here being homeless. Like, what the fuck kind of dumb shit is that? First of all, if I'm homeless, fuck everybody who's in my bloodline not helping me out. Like, one of y'all motherfuckers better give me a place to, a couch to crash on.
Maybe you're a piece of shit.
Well, I'm talking about me as me.
I'd find my way to some sort of island. Maybe I'd get to Puerto Rico somehow. I'd find my way to like Cancun.
A place where I can like
this
fish,
assumes I have
live off the
my
land.
own documentation.
Like I am homeless, but I still have my license and my passport.
Wait, I got all my shit in my file cabinet.
Got all my papers. No, I'm definitely not staying here.
So is it safe to say that he might have left just for
like? There's a reason why.
Why would you leave for the summer? Would you go somewhere cold during the heat? I don't get that. Where'd he go?
I don't know, man. But there's a reason why Skid Row is Skid Row. It's because you're in a climate of 75 degrees average on a daily basis.
That's why it's called Skid Row?
No. The reason why you go to Skid Row is because of the weather conditions.
Skid Row
and you go and live amongst your people.
So if I'm going to be completely honest, the rean why I would think it's called Skid Row...
I already know that there's some bullshit coming.
The reason why I... personally,
because they got skid marks and whatnot.
Well, yes, but because a skid mark is basically
I haven't had a chance to
something
change the
you leave. Something you leave. You know, where your ass crack is dirty, so it leaves a skid mark on your pants. I mean, on your now, hopefully not your pants, but your that's if it's gone through, you had another issue.
I mean, if you had the same pants on
what I would assume
for an extended period of time, it's bound to get through.
They took the skid mark, right? They took skid mark, took mark out, put row in its place. So now it's Skid Row. So basically what I would assume is, in my mind, what it looks like is just one long street. It looks like a skid mark.
I think it's because...
is that what you would assume, like a skid mark street? It's like a shit-stained street?
Now, let me just look up the definition of skid real fast. I think that's what it really has to do with it.
No,
because a skid is like a downward of a vehicle slide, typically sideways or obliquely slippery ground. Fascinating.
There are skid marks. Is what you're looking for.
They're slipping.
The marks from somebody skidding.
Well, I'm saying like they're on a downhill slide at this point in time. You know, they're not, or they're sliding. They're not necessarily in control. And now they are on the row of which everybody is not in control of their lives.
I like my interpretation of the word better. I think it makes more sense.
I disagree, but that's fine.
I think because 95...
I don't think it has anything to do with
I think because
the doo-doo, baby. I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Well, because of the fact that 95 to 100% of those guys out there, and girls...
95 to 100%? I think just like all of... most to all of them.
We're not sexist here, so guys and gals, or whatever, are down there, and most of them, 95 to 100%, have skid marks in their pants. So it makes more sense to me that you would call it something like that. Nobody out there is driving their car to the fucking to Skid Row to live. Skidding.
I'm trying to find a.
Adam's coming back. What the fuck?
I'm trying to find a place where there's a lot of
Chevelle, like
I'm trying to find a place where there's a lot
sell
of
it
outdoor
and get a
markets.
house.
Where there's a lot of outdoor markets. You know what I mean?
That's where you would go.
And I'm not talking about literally where like their cars are skidding. I'm saying like in life they're on a skid. You know, like
Help! I can't stop.
metaphorically, of course. No, like there's a lot of outdoor
And this
markets
is
that I
just
can rob.
jokes.
It's not 100%
It's
jokes. Like to some
just
degree, it's like an exploration of
Jokes.
what we believe.
But if you keep
occurs.
telling them it's jokes, they don't know that part of it is what you actually think.
That reminds me of, Joe Budden's, is it always jokes? We never get serious. And then I started thinking about everybody in his pod is quitting. What's up with that?
What's going on with like Matt Hoffa's shit? Like it seems like
I wanted to talk about that last week and I forgot.
I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know the
breakup.
guys' names individually. I just know Math.
I mean, you know them, like Mecca.
Do you think his real name is
Nas
Math?
doesn't like Mecca.
I think his real name is Math.
No.
What will his name be? Math.
Then you got Heineken and Esso
Math
and all this.
Hoffa.
I'm not even sure who the beef is with. And then they had Joe Budden on there talking. They had like a...
He's been on there recently a few times.
Well, yeah, but like particularly now after the breakup, right? They're like in like I forgot what the guy's name is. You saw that video on YouTube where like he was trying to give him a hug. He was like...
He's like, that's
I forgot what his name is.
What's his name?
Because he was messing with T.I. the same way.
Yeah.
There's another video like that.
Why can't I remember his name? He's a battle rapper, I think.
Yeah.
But he also he has his own podcast.
He told Joe that they should pod together. And he was like,
He's like,
no.
He's like, I want you to pod, and I'll do my pod, and that's it. He's like, what? That's basically what we're doing.
But he was also on that episode of Math
Yeah,
shit.
no, I know.
But they were like in the barbershop with the lights off, like
What's going on
his
with
most
this?
intimate setting.
Remember you commented a while back. His sound is super, super, super trash.
I think maybe his sound man also quit. I don't know why.
Sound man gone too.
All of Joe Budden's young boys are quitting.
I think it's honestly because it's probably a really great springboard.
Probably.
What do you do? I do sound on Joe Budden podcast. Oh, why don't you come do it for our network television show? Or why don't you come do sound for this?
So
Or,
they're
why
poaching
don't
his
you
people
come-
pretty much.
Why
right?
don't you come fucking what the hell did they do? Who was the guy that marked shit?
Oh, I forgot what his name is. Alex, right?
Yeah, but what would they call him?
I don't know.
Damn. Why don't you just come flag shit when we talk so we can know to delete it?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny because I obviously, 1 week he was like, yeah, this guy is his last day. And then he was like, oh, yeah, now Alex is gone too.
It was interesting.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't attribute to anything but like just probably them moving on to bigger, better things. I haven't really watched too much Rory and Mal. They're kind of like a boring show to some extent.
I don't watch him at all.
I like Rory. Mal to me is not I always thought the same thing. You
Mal's
don't necessarily need him in there, but
he's a scorned ex in my opinion. And I don't
he's
really
kind of a scorned
care
ex
to-
with Joe Budden. But I mean, listen, if he were to come out with the receipts that he says he has, then why wouldn't you? Like after all of this, you should just come out with it so you can just clear the air.
Yeah, end this shit. I don't know. There's a whole lot of politics going on there, I guess. That's the one good thing, A, being brothers, and B, not making any money from the pod really make this kind of easy. And not having other employees. So, but I was trying to figure out what was happening with the math thing, and then like obviously Joe called him on the pod, and he started just talking shit.
pretty funny.
I was like, that's great. Are you caught up with
Yeah,
Joe
I
and
am.
stuff?
I caught up recently.
'Cause I know usually a little bit behind there. All right, well, cool, man. That's all I really had there.
All right, well, fuck it, man.
I was watching Groundhog Day the other day,
Okay.
and I was like, man, it's kind of fucked up in a lot of ways, but it's also it's like interesting, right? Because like he obviously living every day still remembered what was happening in his life, so he went and like became an expert at like everything, right? Playing a piano like a G, fucking just knew everything, right? And it blowing people's mind. But it's also like there's like a sadness that comes when your life is not progressing at all. Even like
Of course there is.
even on a timeline, like not necessarily progressing, like becoming a better person or more.
But day by day, it's not going.
Yeah, like just some fucked up shit. But I was like, man, I haven't watched this movie in a minute, and I forgot about like just the tone of
The
it.
sad undertones of that movie. Yeah, I believe that there's more in there than I think I even remember from when I was younger watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that if you watch it when you're younger, it's hard for you to catch some of them because just as a human being or as a person, you haven't encountered these hardships, these problems that can help you understand that that's what they're alluding to in the movie. When you watch things later, you're like, oh, that's what I'm going through right fucking now.
Let me tell you something. He put a lot of effort into picking up that chick. You know, if it was me, I'm using that a whole different way. Like I'm trying to just find all the girls I've been trying to get to. Just
You see,
next.
I have a different I have a sentiment about that from a different movie, 50 First Dates. Don't you think he just, at some point, right, this is just getting too old. Bitch, I told you this yesterday. Well, how many fucking times am I going to tell you you can't remember anything?
It just became like a conquest, I think, to some degree.
No, I think at some point he just, I mean, I get it. In the movie, he's in love, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, look here, young fella. At some point, you got to remember, she don't know who you are.
No.
Though,
And yo, that's probably like the best setup. Look, we had one good day. I'm good now. Like let's move on.
One good
I don't
day?
want to have to deal with like putting together a movie, letting her know like, listen, this is what
putting
happened
together
to
a
you.
movie like that.
This is what happened to you. I have been trying to like get in your pants for the last 50 dates. No, man, it's a lot of effort that I'm just
He
not
said
willing
they're
to put
getting, in the movie, he's like, they're getting blue.
in. All right, now here's something that I'm interested in your take. Since we're in the movie, well, obviously we've been in movies for the last 20 minutes now. A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
Putting out a sequel
Okay.
called A Christmas Story Christmas.
Story Christmas. That's already done.
Now, the guy who played Ralphie, still Ralphie, right? And I think the general plot
He's
of
got kids now.
No, well, he probably does. I don't know. But the general...
He still lives with his parents?
no. So the general plot of the movie, based on just like what the trailer is showing and shit, he's hosting Christmas, and they're like basically mourning or remembering his father, right? Because his dad passed. As far as yeah, yeah. So they're like, I guess like a lot of what the general sentiment about the trailer has been is that I don't really know about this because how are you going to catch the tone that the original movie conveyed? You know, like you're talking about 35 years later doing it. And it's great that you're keeping some of the cast that you're able to, right? But like,
it doesn't matter because it's hard to catch.
I'm just curious because that's like a classic for us.
There's certain elements, right, that make it almost impossible for it to catch.
Yeah.
So back then, the world was way more innocent. Okay?
You were able to keep your innocence longer.
Yeah, I don't know that the Christmas movie hits the way it used to for anybody. Even children these days don't have the same fascinations we had when we were younger. Things don't stimulate them as we did. For us, we had video games, but we had TV, but we also just had outside and fucking around with whatever we can. We just played. Nowadays,
dealing with the school bully.
Nowadays, they got like fucking tablets. They've got, they're worried about more superficial things more early on.
Yeah.
For us, Christmas held its magic for a bit, and I think it's impossible to recreate that type of an atmosphere to release a movie into.
Because there was like a simplicity.
The simplicity of that time is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right? Because
you have to adjust the antenna. You haven't had to adjust an antenna to get a clear picture on a TV in years. You know?
The charm in that, the idea that they were listening to a radio, right? And obviously, you got to remember that's a period piece. So they're recounting something that happened like the 50s or the 40s or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you got to remember that as well. It's dated as it is, and it's people. I don't think that even kids nowadays will not care for it.
Just like the general having a narrator of a movie the entire time, like it's something that's kind of not really a thing.
Not much anymore. And also, the idea that it was original.
course, yeah.
You can't you can't shock anybody from this movie. I don't think people are gonna be like, oh shit, I
You
can't
can
wait
shock
to
me if
watch
it's
it.
good.
I'll be shocked if it's good. I will. I'll
Because
say
I mean, usually,
I
especially
don't anticipate a good movie.
like when you put a sequel out and it's so many years, like if you think about like what it's been, this is the fourth decade since that movie has come out, right? Something like that. So now you have, there's been mad different changes in like life since then.
There's
and
so
just
many,
the general
there's
tone
so many
of life.
things pulling your attention, right? There's so many things that you are like as a person are that are fighting for your attention, and you only have so much. Back then, it was very little compared to now. Radio, TV, you didn't have a
Full
phone.
disclosure, this is like a movie that it's like a damn near a Christmas time tradition to watch it. You know?
Yeah,
like,
if you don't know what a Christmas Story is, please check it out. The original one is really good. But I'm just saying, I don't think you can recreate things like that. It's very difficult. That's why
I don't know that they're trying to recreate it, but some of what they're saying,
with
like
the name is with having
like
the same
guy
name
who
is
played
the difficulty.
Well, yeah, the guy who played Ralphie, I forget what his real name is, but he's like, the whole time that they're in the production and trying to get this shit to where it is now, they're like, tone is very important. Like, it's got to have the right tone. We can't put this movie out without having a tone, because there was a tone in the original that just like it made the entire thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
The movie is not what it is without the general sentiment behind it and everything. You have a kid who just is anticipation of Christmas.
It's the turmoil of a kid who really wants a gift, but everybody's telling him he's too young for it,
but it's just like that.
It's such an innocent problem to have.
The light in his eyes
the problem.
for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like and then like just capturing the disappointment when you don't think you got it, and then Pops is like,
wait a minute, I got you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like just like that feeling. It's just, I don't know, man. There's a lot behind it.
See, even when you talk about it, you can see that there's something that you're referencing in your past that makes you even happier when you talk about it. I don't think kids nowadays really care for that. That's what I'm getting at, and I think
the attention span is too short now.
Trying to recreate it is. So, for instance, I just read or heard somewhere that they're talking about a Malcolm in the Middle reboot with everybody. Like Bryan Cranston is writing it now, but I don't know. I don't know what it will be like. I don't know that it won't have the same shocking awe, right? Because we've watched things that are or witnessed things now that are 10 times worse on TV, right? Than Bryan Cranston walking around the house in his underwear, getting shaved, his back in shape.
It was never supposed to be like bad.
Not bad, but
it's another one of those things where it's like,
but shocking. Like, oh, what the fuck? Like
that show is just unique because you had like the main character broke the fourth wall to talk to the audience.
Do you know what it was similar
in the middle of every scene?
That,
you know what I mean?
But it was also a not a spin-off, but a more modernized version, and only by a few years, obviously, of Married with Children.
Kind of.
Hal had antics. Al had antics. Al.
I can't compare the two because I love Married with Children too much.
Oh, it's way too great. But I love Malcolm in the Middle a lot.
Me too, but that's why I can't compare them. I can't.
You can't. But what I'm saying is, it brought light to like what really probably was closer in its resemblance to normal family life than what a typical.
The only
Hollywood,
thing for me is
you know what I'm saying?
like because
Married
with Children followed the dad, and Malcolm in the Middle followed Malcolm more than anything else.
Okay,
I mean, they obviously had storylines for everybody.
But you get what I'm just saying? Like it brought to light what not normal, but what I said is closer to normal than what Hollywood normally depicts as a normal family unit. It follows
dysfunction of a family unit,
which is more normal than not. Most families are dysfunctional in their own way.
Well, nobody wants to see like things going perfect for everybody all day.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of it before these shows or around these shows, they tried to create more fluffier versions of family.
I will say it's like when
the version of Married with Children is not so high, not so affluent family, right? Who's just trying to make it, and then they get their ups and downs where they get a little bit of money, they get some, they lose it.
Well,
they get some luck, they lose it.
It's the hardworking father in Chicago who hates his family because of all the
right. And Hal,
because they don't understand the hell he has to go through to like just make sure that they have a place to live.
And that's another thing, the unappreciation of the father figure, like, or the breaking down of like, the not the breakdown, but like the the making fun of or poking fun of the father figure.
Yeah.
But
I'll say this: there's certain reboots that work and certain ones that don't. Like when they did Girl Meets World, didn't work. I
it
don't
was
like
on
it
for a
much.
minute.
It did, but it wasn't. Didn't
They
really
did
capture.
Fuller House.
It
That
didn't
kinda
do
worked.
justice for me. Like it was introduced for a newer audience. It wasn't introduced to bring back the old
Because
audience.
the girl, it was the daughter, and they were looking.
Like
for
obviously the old
so
characters
now,
were there,
I bet
but
you if
it
you ask a
wasn't the same
kid
way.
that was that age who watched Disney, they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Girl Meets World is my shit." Because it was on for like 4 years.
When they did Fuller House,
That worked
that worked.
because they were able to bring back
Everybody besides the Olsen
everybody,
twins.
and yeah, because I don't know what's weird.
Rest
but
in peace, Bob Saget.
Rest
still.
in peace to Bob Saget, man.
Yep. And then they did what's it called? Rosie O'Donnell. What's that fucking show?
I mean, Roseanne.
yeah, Roseanne.
They did Roseanne, but then she said her racist comments. They
And
took
then
her
they
off,
kicked her
and then
off.
they made it. I forget what they. But I think it's still on.
Yeah.
Which is fine because John Goodman's a fucking national treasure.
Yeah, but when that reboot happened, it's like there was shock about how old he looked, right? And then for me, he just didn't look like he was healthy, and I didn't like seeing him that way.
Yeah.
But that, I think that's still.
Oh, and then
It depends, man. Like these
what
things
was the
can
show
be
I
done.
just? Oh, it's not a reboot, but it's a kind of the same thing. Modern Family when they brought Ed O'Neill back to be the grumpy.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's now. The funny thing of that is he's affluent now. He's super rich.
Those things can work, but they have to be done with the right intention in mind. Like it depends what the intention is, right? What
agree.
audience are you trying to attract? Are you trying to bring back the old people who are watching, or are you trying to bring a new audience in?
Yeah.
That makes all the difference. And like Girl Meets World, it could have been probably a completely different show and had like the characters that it had. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's very touchy. It's hard to do successfully, and if you can, then more power to you.
I just hate
Same
when they
thing
do it
goes for
sometimes,
reboots of
man.
movies.
Yeah, I just hate
Or
because like
number
they
twos.
can spoil a classic. You know,
That's the issue.
that's why like A Christmas Story, man, is like
I don't think it needs
it's
another
quintessential.
one.
You know?
I don't
Like
think it needs
once a
another
year
one.
watching.
Just play it again.
Yeah.
Play the same one again.
A once a year watching, you know, a traditional like little Christmas movie like it used to be for Halloween. I would try to catch the Boy Meets World Halloween episode with.
Remember, you know what my
Jennifer Love Hewitt
favorite
in it.
Halloween movie ever is Wrapped Up, is it? From
Oh yeah, Under Wraps.
Under Wraps. It's a hilarious fucking
The
story
mummy.
of a mummy who falls in love, and like and that's all I got for you.
Yeah,
but
man.
no, because Halloween movies don't scare me; they're fucking cheesy. If I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch this kind-hearted mummy,
Yeah.
like just walk around a town with nobody even fucking making a second look at him while he's just maneuvering through drive-throughs. And,
Well, they like tried to dress him up like to disguise him. Like you got a 7-foot mummy walking around.
he was like, oh. He looked like they took what was it, Harry and the Hendersons? Remember, like it looked like they took him and wrapped him up. That was hilarious.
Like listen, man, I like your Halloween towns and shit like that. Like there's certain ones that you know
I just like sweet Halloween movies. I
they
guess that's
have the
probably
nostalgia. They have the nostalgia. I like yeah.
But that's a good reason you brought, or a good thing you brought up that word, because that is what all of these movies are trying to recapture. The idea that it's so big now, nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably heard so much, or the network, or whoever is in charge of the Christmas Story IP, the intellectual property, whoever's in charge of that, they probably heard enough where they're like, all right, well, we got to create something because people want to watch it again. People my age, your age, older than us, probably mad you're older than us, right? Because it came out in the early 80s. So what I'm saying is they're all like, oh, I would like to see what Ralphie's doing now. But the problem is, no, you fucking don't. Because the truth of the matter is, he's not somebody he's not going to, you know how they say, they don't meet your idols because they don't live up to it?
Yeah.
Right? He's not going to, Ralphie's going to be a piece of shit. He's going to be a piece of shit. He's not going to be a good father.
If you're gonna do it, make sure you like. I like if you're gonna do it, have the originals part of it, right? Because I would like to think that if you're part of something that is such a classic in so many people's eyes, that you're gonna also look at it like this has to live up to a certain standard if I want to put this out. Like,
Yeah.
I have to make sure that when we go through and watch the first draft of it, if it's not capturing the tone right, that we scrap the project. Like,
I get you.
I need somebody who held it close to their heart as one of their biggest projects, or like a passion project for them. That like if it doesn't do the job that the first one did, don't even go near it.
And
So I'll probably watch it,
Well,
but I don't know what to expect.
well, here's my.
I'm not
thing.
expecting to love
Here's
it.
My
you know?
thing, and I know your argument. So don't. It's just kind of me like devil's advocate. You didn't watch the Space Jam reboot, and I know it's because it's LeBron, but you didn't watch
Different story. I said the original cast.
fucking cartoon Muppets.
The Looney Tunes are one
Looney
thing,
Tunes?
but then
You can never take the Looney Tunes. They're drawings. They can always be the same age.
that's why it didn't require a recap.
Do you think that they should
Like
been
you
older?
had
Do you
MJ.
think Bugs should be like 52?
No,
When did
but
they make them older?
they could probably do
Fucking
that.
Lola's this old bitch that
Animated shows are completely
fucking
different.
Annoying.
Like you have The Simpsons that's been on for 35 years. You know what I mean? Like you can do that with animated shows. Things like that can work. But like you had arguably prime MJ.
What do you think MJ should have done if they put it back in the
You
movie?
had-
Should have been a coach?
You had
LeBron's
fucking
coach?
no.
And he benches him?
They didn't need a sequel.
Well, that's my general argument for most reboots.
If you're talking about a regular ass movie,
Or number twos.
if you're talking about a regular movie, right, and like the plot does not involve being athletic, if it's a movie that you can essentially the characters can be interchangeable, right? I don't know, man. Listen, Space Jam is Space Jam because you had the greatest basketball player ever, but at the time, of course, who was basically going to help the Looney Tunes in beating the fucking Monstars. Like,
Listen,
why do you
I'm
need
not
a sequel
supporter of
there?
the movie, but my argument to you has always been that and you have to remove yourself from it just a little bit. The idea that the kids
I really
nowadays are seeing LeBron as the guy that was going to do that for them, and that's why they made it. I don't think they should.
They called it a new legacy.
I don't think they should have made it.
My man is literally trying to step in
the
to
record.
Michael's
For
ones
the record,
and
they should have never made the movie. But I can see that what they
No.
were thinking is what they probably heard, the people who, I don't know, Warner probably, right? They probably were hearing, we need another Space Jam. The new generation wants a new
no.
Space Jam.
What they were hearing was cha-ching. That's all they heard.
Do you not think that that's not part of this Christmas story thing?
No.
You don't think that they're looking for money? You don't think the guy that played Ralph,
don't
he's a
think
little broke from his movie he
the
made
way-
35 years
the
ago?
way that me and
he
you-
never did another movie again.
The way that you and I and a handful, I'm sure, of people regard that movie is not the general masses. I don't think everybody has the same general sentiment. Not that they don't,
Of a Christmas story?
yeah, I don't think it's like
They wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make a second one then.
it's not true.
See, I guess it's hard for us to kind of narrow down the motive. If we knew
It is,
why,
of course.
if we knew why they brought it out, if it was passion, that's awesome. But I don't know that it's just like, did they say is love enough to make a relationship last? Probably not. So that so the love that you have for this fucking this movie doesn't mean that it warrants it being made again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're taking two different arguments when you put that and then you put Space Jam.
No,
you can't put
my
Space
only
Jam in
argument
there.
with Space Jam was that you didn't watch it, and
That's one of those movies that if you're gonna put a sequel out, then you're attracting the audience, the original audience. You're bringing them back. Otherwise, why? What do you need it for?
Listen, I guess time will tell to see how people how it is. We could probably watch it and see
I'm not watching that shit.
the new Christmas story.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that. I'm talking
No,
about the.
well, yeah.
Nah, but yeah, I'll watch it. I mean,
Well, maybe I'll give it a shot.
it's like
too.
they remade Ghostbusters. You know, like
So who's gonna be narrating this one? His dead dad? Listen, all right, let's just get the sneakers real quick.
it wouldn't even make any sense.
Ralphie.
I would imagine that it would still be Ralphie.
It was the
But-
soap. Remember, he was blind from the soap.
Wait, well, I don't know how that would work.
Spoiler alert.
So the guy who was narrating the original Christmas
He's no
story,
longer alive, I don't
he was clearly an older man,
Oh yeah.
right? So he was like,
Was it Ralphie from the future?
yeah, he was telling Ralphie's story of a child, like his story as a child, and you can hear it in his voice that he was an older guy.
Yeah.
So like, you can't have him doing the narration of the new one.
And then I was trying to tell you.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping that it doesn't suck because you got to do some of those. You got to do these things justice,
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people don't.
or you just got to not do them.
All right, we beat this.
Like when
subject.
Sinbad was a genie or whatever, and then they're like, "Oh, that never existed."
Sinbad was like, "I'm a genie."
Somebody tried to remake that, and they were like, "Let's just pretend like this never came out."
And they roll off their head.
All right, yes,
We got
sneakers. We do indeed. What you got on today?
Same thing. Blue Vapor Max, crowd favorite.
Really changing it up.
Even
around
though we
there.
don't seem to have a crowd. Really?
We have a small crowd.
Oh, we didn't answer Maisha's questions.
I said 2's a company, 3's a crowd.
Does she have any questions?
You know, I've had
We
this.
can get to that real quick. What sneakers do you have?
Oh, I got these Jordan 2 Wingets.
Wing it.
A Winget.
Give her a quick little, and if it's too big a question, we'll do it next week.
It is a big.
What's the question?
She said, rank the top 5 or 10 biggest busts of the NBA.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have to think about that, and we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll give you a list next week. Remember to write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down. And other than that,
Cool, man. Yeah, we gave y'all sneakers. We gave y'all movies. It is what it is, you know what I mean?
an hour and 40-minute pod, which we do consistently, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so thank you for watching.
Who
If you
do
did
it like
indeed
us,
watch.
but get no recognition like us? Nobody, baby. Ain't nobody like us.
Small applause to go along with this. Yeah, so thank you for watching the Kasson Avenue podcast. This has been the 158th rendition, and we appreciate all of y'all who tuned in. If y'all did indeed tune in to this point, follow us, like us, subscribe to us.
The Kasson Avenue podcast on Instagram, baby.
Yeah, peace.
I don't have headphones. Why do I keep trying to do that?
I don't know, but I think I should get like a montage of